about cat apps.
I'm sorry, Ting Ting, but you actually have ass on your face. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. Next slide, please. Next slide.
Oh, right. Every time tech fails, we lose about half the allotted time. It's embarrassing because again, we're a tech company and tech isn't working. Like, what do you say specifically? And we also, whether it's a battery issue or we lose the clicker USB key, stuff just always happens. And
like if you want to layer things in front of the screen, but you don't want the projection to hit the object in front. Like if it's more used as an artistic element, then that would be super helpful.
yes, of course, if you could fix that for me, that would be incredible.
This is the next step. This is your next step up.
All right, so as you heard, or maybe not heard, and seen in our presentation space as well as even on the TEDx stage, there are some issues and frustrations that happen as we come up to present that are rampant, and they really negatively affect our ability to get our message across. So we have developed a company that is intending to empower presenters, that is intending to empower presenters to take control of their space, not be controlled by it. So what we've devised is a system that consists of a motion controller that is a Kinect, and we have developed some software that's really going to understand where you are in the space and help you control it rather than be controlled by it. This project is called Active Shadow, and while the number of frustrations in the presentation environment are large, we've decided to target a small sliver of those. And that is the projector, one of the most ubiquitous pieces of office equipment that exists. Yet somehow it never seemed to make it into the 21st century. It has no idea what we're doing in front of it. So this is an all too common scene, right? We're standing in front of the projector, we have no idea what's on our face. It may or may not be helping or hurting me. That's not necessarily for me to decide, but it happens, and we've never thought twice about fixing it. But what we've come up with is a system that is able to understand where you are in front of it. It knows where you are and tracks your motion, so it detects and reacts to what you're doing. So it substitutes white light for pixels that you would otherwise be interfering with to help promote your appearance rather than distract it, as well as understanding your gestures in front of it. So that allows you to control, we envisioned controlling PowerPoint slides, but you could certainly, if you had this device installed, you could use it for other things. So this is kind of a never before seen image of what it looks like to stand in front of a projector and not have that light on your face. So we think this is a really attractive thing that can be used in a lot of different ways. So what does the market opportunity look like here? So in the last 4 years, people have spent $32 billion on different types of projectors. Not all are like this far away. Some of them kind of solve the problem that we're looking to solve. But like I said, this is just a small sliver of the frustrations that people experience in the presentation space. And so for the projectors of this type, 68% of the sales of projectors of this type were going to businesses. We're saying that if we only targeted just 1% traction in that space, that still represents a potential of $66 million in revenue. That's just for new purchases. And this is a retrofittable system, which, like I said, includes a Kinect, as well as software that we're proposing to develop that does that real-time image processing and gesture control. So I spent a lot of time at SpaceX presenting to NASA in front of projectors just like this, and I just always wondered why these systems can't be more responsive to us. And I'm not the only one. As I mentioned, we talked to a lot of people who had similar issues, and I think we share that. We have an awesome team behind us that even includes head of IT, which is our target customer. We are Active Shadow. Thank you.
What you guys would like to put up? Right?
That's a really cool idea. I like the pitch, and I think in general super short. So maybe the video, you guys have moved ahead on this, could be shortened down a little bit. So you guys mentioned you had a prototype or something? Is it a work in progress? Is it what's going on?
Yeah, so the idea was in the same example that Eric Reese used in the Lean Startup. The minimum viable product for us was to see what the effect of having that image processing looks like. So in our presentation, we showed an image like kind of before, during, and after. But we considered putting something in front of the light so you would actually see real time. But it's kind of like the speech to text. They didn't need to develop it to see if it was useful. Just have someone on the other side of the wall typing it, and that was our minimum viable product. And said, hey, this is compelling enough to actually move forward with.
Cool. I like the big TAM is always interesting, but I always really like to see bottoms up modeling. So how would you establish partnerships? How would you kind of get injected into the supply chain, and how do you move from there is something I'd also try to show people.
Great, thanks.
To hammer on one thing that Ryan said, so I'm convinced this is a problem. I think it's pretty easy to see that, but I'm not convinced that you all can do this. So what abilities do you have to make something that does this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we found when we researched competitors that there's a company called Motion Magics, which you may have seen has interactive displays in airports. They're kind of like the Apple to our Pebble smartwatch. We're proposing a dumbed down system that costs a lot less. It's deployable in the commercial space, and it's not a technical problem that can't be solved.
I disagree with Ryan. I don't see this as and I'm sorry, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. I don't see this as a great idea. I think this problem, it is a problem that will be solved. It will be solved somehow without retrofitting these machines. I mean, you see what Samsung is previewing. I don't see this as a long-term sustainable. Sorry.
My question is on the business model. How do you see the pricing? This isn't a hardware play, it's a plug-in onto projectors. Maybe tell me a little bit more about that.
Correct. Yeah, we found that average projector cost is around $1,100, and we were kind of proposing $300 per system. $100 of that was very conservatively stated the consumer price for the Kinect, and then the revenue would be off the software portion. So it's really an evangelism thing where if you're not selling to presenters or audiences, but really the IT people who control this equipment. So we're kind of seeking to find some evangelists who, if everyone agrees that it's beneficial, then we just need to convince companies that they need to support their employees in getting their message across better.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.